war on drugs. But Congressman Acheron?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Gusto ko lang itanong sa Napolcom, ano po ang extent ng inyong or nature ng inyong participation or intervention kung meron, sa cases ng mga PNP na na-involved doon sa extrajudicial killings? Ano po ang inyong so far po? Is that part of your mandate to provide like legal services to those who are involved in the extrajudicial killing?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, wala po sa mandate namin to provide legal assistance. However, kung meron pong mga cases against police officers, then we will have jurisdiction to try them administratively po. So kung meron pong final na case namin, we have concurrent jurisdiction with the Chief PNP and the
So,
PNP.
ano po ang connection ng inyong function at saka ng IAS?
Ang IAS po ay recommendatory po to the Chief PNP and the Chief PNP po ay may concurrent jurisdiction with the NAPOLCOM. Bale po kung meron pong case against a police officer for grave offense, pwede po nilang i-file sa IAS, pwede rin po sa NAPOLCOM.
Okay. So, yung mga pumupunta po sa inyo ng cases ay nagagaling po, nag-originate sa IAS, di ba?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Hindi.
Yes po. Pag po IAS, yun po ay pumunta sa Chief PNP po. Pag po sa NAPOLCOM is original jurisdiction.
Also, you
Right sa
decide,
NAPOLCOM.
you make a final decision on the cases that are brought to you for resolution, parang ganon?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. I'm good, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you, Congressman Acheron. Gerald Torre, kasi meron ditong 398 na may kaso, di ba? At 195 yung natanggal, no? Bilang ikaw yung head ng CIDG, no? Probably you can somehow revalidate yung mga kasong to para malaman natin sino dito talaga yung mga naging biktima na sumunod lamang talaga. Kasi alam mo, very special case yung sa war on drugs na to eh. Kasi nga iba-iba yung pronouncements dito na ating nadinig and that's the reason why medyo naligaw yung iba natin mga kapulisan. At kanina nga may binabanggit si Chairman Caraps that those na-dismiss, at may mga kaso pa sa ngayon, medyo nawindang sila dahil napalagay sila din sa mga druglist eh.
Yes,
May mga ganong kaso na hindi natin naiwasan because of the different well, may policy, tapos pag tinignan mo naman yung CMC 16-2016, may negation, may neutralization, di ba? Talagang magugulo ka kapag ang level ng iyong knowledge ay yung non-well experienced yet, no, ng mga kapulisan natin. Like for example, sila, di ba? Yung mga sergeant, mga captain, major, di ba? Tapos ang nag-order sa kanila general. So, yun ang nag-order ng general, talagang, yun ang, nila, yun ang utos sa taas. So, can you kindly look on these cases ng 398 at yung mga 195 na natanggal?
Yes, sir. We'll do, sir, and I'll give you feedback.
At tell us, no, para at least malaman po natin kung magkano yung pondo na ilalagay natin. Asap to sa General Torre,
Yes, sir.
Kasi para at least malaman po natin magkano yung pondo na ilalagay natin. Specifically, those who were agreed. Agreed sila eh. Kasi makita mo na talagang sumunod lamang sila sa utos. So, we will be handling this with the assurance from this Congress, no, na mabigyan po natin sila ng kakulang-tulang na legal. No? Kasi lang yung sinabi ni Chairman Barbers, magastos to eh. Affidavit lang, magkano nang gagastosin mo eh. So, before we proceed, the Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Richard Gomez and Congressman Sergio Dagok. Pero tapusin muna natin si Captain Ronnie Ereño, saka babalikan kita pare. Tapusin ko lang si Captain Ronnie Ereño and then yung I think ito yung family na namatayan, Kayo, no? So, ano muna, si Captain Ereño, you are now recognized.
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm Police Captain Ronnie Ereño, assigned at Quezon City Police District.
Before you proceed, 1 minute suspension. Hearing resume. Okay, so Captain Erenyo, you are recognized. Please tell your story.
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm Police Captain Ronnie Ereño, assigned at Quezon City Police District. I was wounded during the conduct of legitimate anti-illegal drugs operation happened on February 24, 2021, Your Honors. When it comes to assistance, Your Honors, I received also the 100,000 pesos from the PNP, Your Honor.
So you were hospitalized as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Saan ang tama mo, sir?
Right leg, Your Honor.
Okay, so yung na-encounter mo, may namatay din?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, andito rin yung ating mamaya, baka tanungin ka Captain Erenyo, no? So ikaw yung head nung team na nag-conduct ng operation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. May mga tinamaan din sa mga kasama mo?
Dalaw po ang died during operation, Your Honor.
Namatay yung dalawa?
Yes, Your Honor.
So yung sa kabila, ilan na namatay?
Bali tatlo, Your Honor.
So dalawang patay sa'yo, tatlo patay sa kanila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Yeah, wounded siya. Alright. So, andito rin po si Miss, itong mga na-dismiss. Si PO1 Marco Almario. Kasama rin po natin si PO1 Marco Almario. Ano namang reason bakit ka na-dismiss sa kaso mo? Sa serbisyo. Anong rango mo at saan ka naka-station before? Please.
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. I am ex-police officer 1 Marco Almario from Region 3, Zambales, PPO po. Masinloc Police Station. Victims po ako, Your Honor, ng kasi ginawa po akong SBT nung aking pong naging hepe. Inaresto po niya ako sa station namin. Then, possible po, pinunta niya ako sa prison cell. Then, after 2 hours,
Sino ang maresto sa'yo?
yung chief of police ko po, the late Police Major Nelson Ballesteros de la Cruz.
So, inaresto ka sa...
Police station po.
So, anong naging kaso mo during that time?
Yun po, tinaniman po niya ako ng illegal drugs at saka baril po, Your Honor.
So, ang nagtanim ng yung akusasyon na you allegedly nagtanim sa'yo at doon ka na-dismiss sa kasong yun.
Opo, Your Honor.
Nakalista ka ba doon sa drug list?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Okay, so wala ka sa drug list.
Wala po.
So, ongoing pa rin ba kaso mo until now?
Nag-file po ako ng memorandum of appeal sa po, Your Honor, nasa DILG na po.
Yung criminal case, meron?
Meron po, Your Honor, pero dismiss po, Your Honor.
Yung criminal case, dismiss.
Opo, Your Honor.
So, yung administrative mo, these are the cases that we have to look into again, ano? Kasi itong mga ganito nga, kailangan po natin ng validation if they, indeed, yung kanilang mga kaso was totoo, di ba? At nakakaawa, ano? Kung totoo, yung sinasabi mo, talaga nakakaawa. Pero kung nagsisinungaling ka, syempre nakakamuhi yan, di ba? But I think the CIDG, the PNP, NAPOLCOM, IAS, they have to look into these cases, no?
And Mr. Chair,
Yeah, Congressman Richard Gomez, please.
if I may say, yung karamihan sa mga administrative cases ng mga polis, ang nagpa-file nun yung mismo mga drug pusher, mga drug lord. Kasi nai-istorbo yung business nila eh.
Yeah.
In line of their duty habang ginagawa na yung trabaho nila. So yun, pag tinignan ko talaga yung mga court cases, marami nagpa-file yung kalaban pa ng polis. Siyempre, ang kalaban ng polis is are the drug pushers.
At the problem, wala silang
Ang problema ng mga police, wala silang
laban sa kaso.
mahal ang abogado. And more than that, most of the time, retired na sila, ongoing pa rin yung kaso nila.
Ito, in his case, ano siya dismiss ka, no? Once yan, di ba? Once na meron na nakapile na kaso, talagang hindi sila sumusweldo, di ba? O once na nag-file na ng kasos against them, tanggal na sila. Suspended, preventive suspension. But wala na yung benepisyo nila. Wala na yung... Sige,
Once the decision becomes final ng secretary, sir, doon i-stop, sir, yung sweldo po, sir, nila. At
So, kailangan
pag na-dismiss, sir, sila, forfeited, sir, din yung mga benefits po nila, sir.
okay, so, very short, sumusweldo ka pa ba, ano? Wala ka na, di ba?
Hindi na po, Your Honor.
Hindi na, no? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, yung decision will be decision of IAS, decision of NAPOLCOM. Kanino decision ba, Mr. Chair?
Jel Pardo. Admins kasi, ano yan, IAS o kaya Napolcom.
Sir, ang mga kaso po kasi, sir, na na-file, sir, sa mga police, pwede pong ma-file yan, sir, sa NAPOLCOM, sa IAS, and PNP po, sir, exercise disciplinary authority over all PNP po. So, hindi ko, sir, alam kung saan yung final na kaso sa kayo.
Mr. Chair, it doesn't matter where they file the case. The point is, what if NAPOLCOM decides? IAS decides or the administrative officers of the PNP decides. So, sino masusunod? Pag alimbawa, na-dismissan nyo, pwede bang i-appeal doon or sa inyo ba i-appeal? How does it work, Mr. Chair?
Sir, the NAPOLCOM exercise original jurisdiction, sir. So, pag na-file, sir, sa kanila yung kaso, sir, they will be the one to hear the case and decide. So, hindi na po yan pupunta, sir, sa PNP. In the case, sir, among IAS, sir, they would recommendatory lang po sa kanila. Pag mag-file po yung mga citizens complaint po, sir, diretso po sa kanila yan, then their findings will be submitted to the PNP, and the chief PNP will be the one to study whether their recommendation suffice to meet the penalties. So, but after the PNP decides on the case, sir, they still have the right to file an MR, appeal, and so on and so forth, sir.
I ask that, Mr. Chair, because as I looked at the report of IAS, for 2016 to 2022, June 30, 32,531 cases were dismissed. Demotion 64, dismissal from service 41, and reprimanded was 12. Because during the last budget hearing, I brought this up to the Philippine National Police. Because the budget of IAS, Mr. Chair, is attached under Philippine National Police. It should be separated from the Philippine National Police so that IAS will be able to decide on their case. Halimbawa, on the other side of the story, Mr. Chair, eto talaga, may ginawa police, may ginawang kalokohan, and nakitaan ng ebidensya at saka dinismiss ng IAS. Ang problema kasi, IAS must refer to the PNP chief.
Yes.
Kung papayag. Kung bata ng PNP chief, hindi rin matanggal. So, sayang yung effort ng taga-IAS. So, I was thinking, Mr. Chair, if IAS will be able to help me, I know, Mr. Chair, na ang laki na hihingin, so that we will be able to separate their budget from the Philippine National Police, Mr. Chair.
Okay, you need a reply for that?
I want to reply from the IAS, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please. And then we'll be proceeding po sa sa mga na-dismiss na mga officers of the PNP organization. Sige, go ahead. Yes, please.
Unang-una po, Mr. Chair, salamat po kay Congressman Emano sa suporta po niya sa IAS. Tama po yung sinabi niya na siyempre po, maigi po kung magkaroon din po kami ng sarili naming pondo. Sapagkat para lang po mas malinaw po yung pag-ugnayan po ng IAS at saka ng NAPOLCOM. Yung IAS po kasi binigyan po kasi sa batas noong kapangyarihan na magkaroon po ng tinatawag ng motu proprio investigation. Ibig sabihin po ito, kahit wala po mag-complain po sa amin, hindi po katulad sa NAPOLCOM, kailangan po kasi nila ng complainant. Sa amin po, ang trabaho po namin, kahit wala po mag-complain, meron pong 5 pagkakataon sa batas na kailangan po namin imbestigahan. Yun po yung rason kung bakit po doon sa drug war ay nagkaroon po ng investigasyon na tinatawag pong motu proprio automatic na nakasangkutan po ng around 32,803 police personnel. Yun po ang rason kung bakit po sila na-imbestigahan po lahat. Sapagkat yung power po namin,
Wait, attorney. 32,000.
Opo, sapagkat ano po, Chair, Mr. Chair,
Oo.
yung pong bawat police operation, hindi lang naman po isang police po ang kasama po dyan.
So lahat yung
Usually
32,000 na nakasuhan yun?
May automatic administrative investigation case po lahat yan, sapagkat yun po sangayon sa batas po yun eh.
Okay.
Ito po yung mga may namatay po. Ito po yung may victim, namatay, or nagpaputok ng baril, automatic po, inibisigan po ng
In other words, 32,000 were involved in
Involved
the
po na-
administrative cases.
Sila
Okay.
po ang nasama sa
Increase.
administrative case. At tama naman po yung sinabi po ni Congressman Imano na kami po ay nag-iimbestiga po ng hiwalay po para matingnan po namin kung ano po ba nangyari doon sa operation na yun. At tama naman po sinasabi ng mga ibang kasama ko po na sa PNP po na meron din po naman talaga na nasasabit po lamang sapagkat syempre po dahil po sa kaso nga po na hinaharap nila kailangan po silang maimbestigahan po at nahihirapan po yung mga kasama namin kuminsan na kumuha din po ng tulong po na legal sapagkat siyempre po sa kahit po administrative case kailangan din po ng legal representation po sana. So yun din po, tama po yung kanilang paliwanag po at kami naman po sa IAS ay handa po kami tumulong sa opisina po ni Congressman Imano para po mabigyan po ng mas maganda pong paglilinaw yung aming pong mandato at pagsagawa ng aming mandato. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Goma, please.
in addition to what Attorney Dulay said and to our colleague Congressman Emano, aside from being independent, I think what is more important here is that when they come up with a decision, dapat hindi na to dumadaan sa highest officer na agency. Correct? Kasi pag dumaan pa to sa highest officer na agency, pag bata niya imbestigahan doon, tapos na yun. Sayang talaga yung gagawin nila. So the decision will have to be independent as well.
Okay. So proceed tayo muna doon sa mga sa mga natin na dismiss pa si Mr. Sunny Reyes. Mr. Sunny Reyes, ano pong position niyo? Patrolman.
Patrolman po.
So bakit po kayo na-dismiss? Mike po, Mike.
Ginasuhan po ako ng Station 11 po.
Ano nga pong ikinaso sa inyo?
Bali, ang drugs tsaka baril po, tinanong po nila ako.
Ano po?
Drugs po, tsaka baril po.
At kayo nag-shoulder nung lahat ng gasa sa kaso niya.
Opo. Ang totoo po niyan, Sir, Your Honor, yung pangyari pong yun, yung meron pong nagpapanggap na polis po dun sa huling lamay po ng kapitbahay namin. Ngayon po, tinulungan ko lang po, tinignan ko po kung totoo po bang polis yun. Ngayon, nakaharap ko po, hindi po polis yun, kaya tulong-tulungan ng mga kapitbahay namin. Ngayon, nagpatawag po ako ng assistant ng polis, at dumating po yung PO2 Bungato, tsaka yung PO1 Luminis. Tinel-over ko po sa kanila. At ang sabi sa akin po, sumunod daw po ako sa presinto para mapagsampa ng kaso. Pero pagdating po namin sa presinto sa Police Station 11 ng Quezon City, kami na po ang binaliktad, kinulong na po kami, na napag-alaman po namin na yung taong yun po, asset po ng Police Station 11 ng Galas, Quezon City po. Ang masakit po nga po niyan, pati po yung mga anak ko, dinamay po nila. Apat po kami nakulong na mag-ama. Na sinasabi nila yung acid daw pong yun, binaligtad kami, na hinold up po daw po namin dun sa aming lugar. Ginawan po nila ako ng senaryo.
Okay, okay. So nakulong po kayo nung 2016, 2017? Kailan po?
2017 po.
2017.
Opo.
Ha? Case was filed against you.
Opo.
Sino nag-file?
Bali yung Station 11 po.
Oh, yung police.
Opo.
Na sinasabi mo na
Na tinaniman po nila ako.
Okay.
At dinamay pa po yung mga anak ko. Pinakulong din po nila. Magkakasama po kami nakulong ng mga anak ko.
Ilan ang anak mo na nakulong with you?
Bali, 3 po.
So, 4 kayo nakakulong.
Opo. Kinasuhan naman po sila ng ng robbery hold up po. Tsaka yung kinaso sa
And
kanila.
during all this time na nakakulong po kayo, with all these allegations that you have mentioned, lahat ng ginastos niyo sa kaso ay sagot po ninyo.
Opo.
Sige po. At,
Pero po na-dismiss na lang naman po lahat ng tinatong nila sa aking kaso.
administrative.
I-failed po ako. Administrative po, doon po ako na-dismiss po.
Okay. Alright. So, yung criminal, dismiss.
Opo.
Yung mga mahirap no? Na mga sitwasyon talaga that nakakaawa yung ating mga pulis na. For example, sabihin natin na hindi sila talaga involved. Tapos ginawa nila yung kanilang tungkulin. At nagkaroon ng ganitong polisiya na this was implemented and then it happened. So, wala silang biktima sila. So, wala silang perang panggol sa sarili nila. Naapektuhan siya at ang pamilya niya, karir niya, reputasyon, dignidad. Yun ang nakakalungkot na nangyari sa atin. But, yun na nga.
But Mr. Chair,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, ang naalala ko sa regional level, meron silang legal officer. But the problem is, the numerous cases, hindi kayang i-handle ng legal office ng regional office yung cases ng mga police. I think what is important, I think what we need to do, Mr. Chair, is to augment funding, to augment yung lawyers sa legal office nila to handle cases para matulungan yung mga police.
Ang problema ata, wala kayong gantong PNP, wala tayong budget for this ganto Wala Kanina tinatanong ko kayo kung merong pondo na ginagamit for this kind of cases that kapag na-filean sila, meron ba tayong nire-release? And even giving them legal manpower?
Like we mentioned earlier, sir, the PNP legal assistance extended to PNP personnel facing are those cases that falls under the service connected cases only, sir. But if they will be facing a case that is separate or outside of the official performance of the duty, sir,
Yeah.
they will be the one to shoulder the legal representation, sir.
Tama yun. Kasi this one, hindi siya, kaya nga kanina sabi natin, categorize Yung mga 195 na natanggal at 399 na nakikita may kaso, i-categorize natin para at least alam natin kung sino yung mga tutulungan talaga. Diba? So, submit to us, ASAP, para at least alam yung pondo na hilingin natin kay Speaker for that purpose. Kasi ang pangako sa atin ni Speaker that he will be helping yung mga kasong legitimate during operation. And even yung mga na-dismiss will be helping them. But, of course, kailangan legitimate at talagang biktima sila ng war on drugs as well. Sige, Congressman Caraps, and then we'll be proceeding doon sa dalawang victim pa at saka doon sa pamilya. Okay.
Ano lang po, just a short interjection with regards to the legal problem in the organization of the PNP. Kasi ganito po, cases filed against police officers in line of duty, dapat police talaga yon. Okay? But, for example, in the case that was mentioned by Reyes, that is not in line of duty. Now, pag wala sang lawyer, doon sa sapaw. Diba? Wala kang lawyer, doon ka sapaw. But, still, kung gusto ko lang balikan yung question of the legal problem, services in the PNP, ang problema kasi, Mr. Chairman, ganito po yon. We have discussed it several times even in the previous congresses. No? Ang problema kasi, for example, if I am a lawyer, instead of entering the services to the PNP, I'd rather apply for the PAO. Kasi mas malaki pong sahod sa PAO kumpara mo sa pulis na abogado that will be assigned sa IAS. Yan pong reality. Diba? For example, lawyer ka. Pag pumasok ka sa pulis with all those requirements and qualification, qualified ka na, you have fulfilled all those requirements. What is your rank? Major, di ba? O kapitan? Kapitan, di ba? First entry is police captain ka. Now, magkano sahod ng police captain? Ngayon, less than 100,000, di ba? Oh, less than 100,000. But if I am a lawyer, I'd rather apply for the PAW than the police. Kasi mas malaking sahod ng lawyers new entry sa PAW kaysa sa police. Kaya yun yung isang problema dyan ng talagang sa police. We cannot hire as much as we want lawyers for the police kasi napakababa po ng sahod. Kasi first entry mo, kapitan ka, what is the salary of the police captain, yun po yung sahod mo. Yun talagang problema. Now, kaya siguro, you have to study the local government code, same time yung PNP law, na yung IAS, kung gusto nating suportahan ng todo, pwede naman yun, but ang salary grade siguro patasin natin para mas maraming abogado na papasok dun sa police, not entering the police service, but dun sa legal ng police, no? Dun sa IAS. Yun yung pong pwedeng maging remedyo. But as of now, kaya yan ang hinarap natin dahil kahit lagyan pa yan natin ng malaking punto dyan. Still, the question is the scarcity of lawyers within the police organization.
Mr. Chair.
Yun yung problema talaga dyan.
And of course, siguro talagang dapat manawagan din tayo dito sa counterpart natin, no, sa Senate. Because in here, sa atin po sa Kongreso, yung House Bill number 6509, pending pa to sa Senate, yung pre-legal assistance to uniformed personnel. We approved this with the Committee on Justice. 2022 pa to, naalala ko na aprobahan na natin to, providing free legal assistance to any officer or uniformed personnel of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Bureau of Fire, Bureau of Jail, Coast Guard, PNP, na facing any charge before the prosecutor's office. Sana po ma-aprobahan na sa Senado to. Congressman Charon, please.
I was just saying, Mr. Chairman, na yung mga abogadong pumapasok din sa ating government like sa PNP, hindi po sila nag-litigate. Nandun lang sila as in an advisory or rendering legal opinion. Yun po ang trabaho ng mga lawyers sa government offices. Yung nag-litigate talaga, yung pumupunta sa yung mga abogadong nandyan sa PAO at saka yung private lawyers. Yung mga nasa nasa government. If I am not mistaken, hindi po sila nag-litigate unless they ask permission from the chief of the office na mag-engage in legal practice of the profession. I don't know if that is correct.
Please reply on that General Pardo.
Sir, for proper context po, sir. Yung mga PNP lawyers po natin, sir, ay nare-represent po yung mga pulis natin na kakasuhan. Yan po yung sinasabi po natin na applicable doon sa mga service-connected cases. Just like binanggit po, sir, ni Congressman Gomez, sir, na may mga subject ng police operations na nagka-countercharge sa police, yun po ay nare-represent po ng ating mga PNP lawyers. At marami na po silang cases won in favor po ng mga pulis nating nakakasuhan, sir.
Chair, so it is just clear na kulang talaga ang mga pulis sa PNP kasi it's not happening in the provinces. Ang daming policemen, when I was still in the private practice, pumunta sa private lawyer. At meron namang IBP na sinasabing yung de officio na nagre-render po tayo ng serbisyo na walang bayad. So yun ang ginagawa ng mga abogadong private kasi yung mga pulis napakarami. Walang nag-a-attend ng mga abogadong tiga PNP na nag-a-attend ng kanilang kaso sa korte or sa fiscal's office. So yun po nangyayari sa ground. Hindi ko alam kung asan yung merong maraming abogado sa PNP.
Mr. Chair,
Sir, Congressman Goma.
I just want to find out if do we already have an approved bill in augmenting yung legal services ng PNP?
Yeah, I just mentioned that we have already approved. Committee on Public Order and also Committee on Justice. House Bill number...
Approve on third reading, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, okay.
Pending in Senate?
Yes.
Pending in Senate?
Pending in the Senate. Yeah. Free legal assistance for the PNP. Oh, pending kasi sa kanila. Anyways, proceed muna tayo doon sana tapusin natin itong si Jason Ibe. Mr. Jason Ibe, ikaw naman, bakit ka na-dismiss?
Sir, yung sa amin, sir, kami yung 7 pulis na pinag-push up ni former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa sa Angeles City Police Office, sir. Kami yung...
Ba't kayo pinag-push up?
Ang naging kaso namin, sir, is meron kaming hinuling Koreano sa Friendship Plaza, sir, sa Angeles City Police Station 5. Tapos, sir, naging dahil sumunod kami sa utos ng ng COP. Pinalaro niya yung dapat sanang ma-file na kaso. Naging robbery extortion, sir, yung kaso. Ngayon, sir, pumutok sa media dahil nakasabay yun sa kaso nung pinatay na Koreano sa loob ng krame.
Yeah.
If you remember, sir, yung kaso ni Ricky Santa Isabel na
Yes.
Juji yata yung Koreano. Sorry, sir.
Okay, proceed.
Yes, sir. Para matakpan, sir, yung dahil naging national news yung
Sa Korean.
Korean na yun na namatay sa krame, sir. Ang kwento nung sa amin, sir, kami, sir, yung pinantakip nila para gawing sensationalize yung kasong simpleng robbery extortion, sir, yung sa amin. Is ginawa kaming kidnapping. Insist nila, sir, na pinapilit nilang pinafile na kidnapping yung maging kaso namin. Tapos apparently, sir, after second day, sir, nangyari yun, sir. Nirestrict kami sa kampo, sir. Tinanggalan kami kaagad ng baril, sir, at saka ng cellphone. Nirestrict kami doon wala pa kaming kaso, sir. Tapos nabalitaan na lang namin na may planong patayin kami, sir. Ng mga taga-krami at or
Ito kasi nyo, it's not, hindi siya involved yung operation nyo tungkol sa illegal drugs.
Hindi, sir, robbery extortion ng police.
Well, anyway, ang pinag-uusapan natin is sa EJK, no? But it's worth understanding also yung case ninyo. No?
Kasi, sir, yung...
These are all, these are all your story and your allegation. But of course, we will be asking also the PNP to look into this. Kung talagang, but sino administrative dismiss kayo, right?
Yes, sir. Yung criminal case din, sir, dismiss.
Ano natin doon, for example, na-dismiss tayo criminally?
Sir, yung po kasing nangyari sa amin, sir, kung if I may, sir, tutuloy ko yung...
Sige, go ahead.
Para malaman lahat, sir. Publicly kasi, sir, na pinaya kami without wala pa kaming mga na-file na kaso. Tapos, sir, lahat ng gastos, sinolder namin, sir, yung pambayad ng abogado. Where in fact, yung case namin, sir, job-related, work-related po yun. Kaso, walang support sa PNP, sir. Tapos,
Sino kaso sa inyo?
tapos, sir, na-dismiss na yung kasong kriminal namin. Umatras na yung complainant. Sir, pinakulong pa kami. Yun yung masakit dun, sir.
Sino kukulong sa inyo?
PNP, sir.
Sino gutos?
That time, sir, PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, sir. Merong itong video sa YouTube, sir, na plano kaming patayin, sir, para matakpan yung kaso sa Krami na binulgar ni asawa ni Ricky Santa Isabel, sir. Na makikita pa yun sa YouTube. Mismo siya nagpa-interview sa Paano, boss? Sa GMA or sa national TV na itong police na dapat kaya kinakasuhan kami ng kidnapping, sir. Muntik na kami ilatag din. Hindi ko alam, sir, kung DDS or ano. Ganun. Pero yung asawa mismo ni Ricky Santa Isabel, sir, hindi siya pumayag na ganun yung gawin nila sa amin. At with the support of our wives and relatives, sir, binuntayan kami sa kampo kanya. Hindi natuloy yung plano, sir.
Paano nyo nalaman yung sinasabi nyong alleged plan? Paano nyo naman na
Sir, kasi yung first na dinala kami sa campus, sir, restricted, tinanggalan kami kagad ng baril tsaka cellphone. Wag daw kami nakikipag-communicate sa labas. Tapos, sir, dahil sa akbo doon kami, marami kaming kakilanang pulis. Sinabi nila sa amin, wala kaming cellphone, sir. Nasa isang kwarto kami. Sabi nila, may planong patayin kayo, kukunin kayo dyan, sabi niya. Sabi, tawagin niyo yung mga kamag-anak niyo, bantayan kayo, sir. Apparently, sir, na-verify namin po yun.
Sino nagsabi sa'yo ng ganun?
Yung mga kasama din namin.
Official
Sir.
doon?
Yes, sir, mga kadikit na namin official.
Saan area kayo?
Angeles City Police Officer.
Saan?
Angeles City Police Officer.
Can you mention the name of the officer who have...
Kung sa executive session, sir, kung makakailing kami. Or sa affidavit. Yun yung mention namin.
Sige, siguro mag-affidavit ka na lang.
Tapos, sir, yung nagpatibay dun sa sabi-sabi na yun sa station, sir. Ay sa campus, sir. Yung isang asawa ni Ricky Santa Isabel, sir.
Sino si Ricky Santa Isabel?
Yun po yung suspect na police. Karami, sir, yung sa AIDG na pumatay doon sa Koreano.
Okay, let's proceed sa next, si Mr. Richard Agapito. Richard Agapito, can you tell us your, bakit ka na-dismiss?
Sir, good morning po. Dagdag lang po dun sa sinabi sa kasama ko po ni Mr. Jason Ibe po. Yun nga sir, yung na-humiliate po kami in public without, wala pa pong naka-file na...
Kasama mo si Jason?
Yes sir.
Magkakasama kayo?
Pito po kami sir na yung pulis sa Angeles. Na public humiliate po kami and yun nga po, wala pang naka-file na kaso.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Richard Agapito.
Yes sir, thank you po.
Ito namang biktima, kasi we're running out of time. Hanggang 12 lang po tayo. So, itong widow, nung si Miss Floradel Colliantes. Sige, ma'am, you have the floor.
Good morning po sa lahat. Ako po si Floradel Colliantes. Bali, common law wife lang po talaga ako nang namatay ko pong asawang pulis na si Patrol PO1 Joverjan Largesabal. Nung time po na namatay po siya, madaling araw po noon nagpaalam po siya na may drug operation po sila. And nung araw din po na yon, dapat po kasal po namin sa civil. Pero ang paalam po kasi niya sa akin is makakabalik po siya before 8 a.m. So, naghihintay po kami ng anak ko. Nung time po na yun is 1-year-old pa lang po yung anak ko. And then, hindi na po siya nakabalik. Hindi na po siya nakauwi. Then, siguro, parang past 12 na po ng tanghali, nung may tumawag po sa akin, investigador po siya, nakalimutan ko na po yung pangalan. Doon na po sinabi sa akin na yung daw pong nagmamayari ng cellphone na ginamit, kasi yung pong ginamit na pantawag sa akin is yung cellphone pa rin po nung asawa ko. So, nagtaka po ako bakit po iba na po yung sumagot, iba na po yung tumawag sa akin. So, doon na po sinabi sa akin na, yun nga po, patay na po yung asawa ko. So, napakasakit po hanggang ngayon, kahit na matagal na po yung nangyari. Pero, ang sa akin lang, sir, may mga natanggap po akong benefits. At big thanks ko po yun sa PNP po dahil kahit papano, hindi po nila kami tinatalikuran. Especially po dun sa mga naging official po ng asawa ko nung time na yun dahil nung time po na wala pa po kaming natatanggap, hindi po nila kami pinabayaan kahit papano tinutulungan po nila kami. Galing na po yun sa sarili nilang pera. Ang sa akin, sir, yung po kasing benefits na para sa anak ko, na-decline po sa NAPOLCOM. Kung pwede po sana, kahit nung time po na yun na, kasi pandemic, naabutan po yun ng pandemic, nung pinaprocess po yun. So, nung pwede na po akong makaluwas nun, prinasis ko pa po yun, nagpunta po ako ng Makati, NAPOLCOM. Nagmakaawa po ako dun, para lang kahit, sabi ko po kahit yung sa educational lang po kung hindi nyo na po maibibigay yung gratuity. Pero, ang ginawa lang po is, pinagsubmit lang po ako ulit nung mga copy po nung requirements. Hanggang sa umabot po na kinailangan ko pa pong kumuha ng attorney na magpa-process po nung parang, di ba sir, napakasakit naman po yun na yung asawa ko po kung iisipin ko, isa po siyang hero kung tutuusin. Na kaya niya po kaming iwanan para lang po magsabisyo sa bayan. Tapos, pagdating po sa benefits, ganun po yung mangyayari. Para po sa isang katulad ko, lalo na po solo parent po ako ngayon, ang hirap po. Makikita niyo po, dala ko po yung anak ko dito. Kasi, mahirap. Kahit po minsan sa trabaho ko, dinadala ko po siya. Tapos, yun lang naman, sir. Actually, hindi lang po ako yung widow na ganito yung case. Marami po akong alam, kakilala. Pero, yun nga po, bilang ano na rin po, sana po mabigyan din po ng pansin yung mga cases po namin. Kasi, nawalan na nga po kami, tapos, marami po talagang hindi napapansin.
Okay, thank you so much, sino to? Miss Colliantes. NAPOLCOM, di ba meron siyang 1-year salary, 1 monthly pension, burial expenses, 3 months salary, para sa kasi ito yung mga binigay, di ba? But yung sa educational ng mga anak, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Vice Chair, Romy Acob. Rico, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Under our rules po, meron po tayong binibigay na scholarship para po sa mga qualified children of the policemen who passed away in the course of their duty. So we will look into this po, no? Usually po kasi na-deny kapag hindi na-prove na sila po ay children o yung asawa. Minsan po kasi mga common law, kaya po hindi nagagrantan. But we will give preferential attention to this matter.
Kailangan kasi kasal.
Yes,
Hindi kayo nakasal.
Sir, nung araw po na yun, kasal po dapat namin, pero hindi po kami nakasal. Pero sir, may anak po kami.
Yun nga, yung mga ganun sitwasyon di ba?
So, paano naman po yun? Di ba?
Mr. Chair, pwede naman po kapag po proof po na children naman nila yung we can give the assistance. So, baka lang po it's a matter of evidentiary submissions lang po.
And that's a very reason why we are conducting this hearing, para at least malaman ng mga naging biktima ng mga pulis, no? Yung mga namatay, yung mga nasugatan, yung mga nagkaroon ng kaso, that this committee will be helping them to have a kung sakasakali ng special account, no? Para do sa budget natin for 2025, masama natin yung mga ganitong klase na napabayaan, no? Sa war on drugs.
Chairman,
Okay, Congressman.
can I just know kung meron bang investigation ito? Yung kay police officer or policeman Colyantes? Meron bang official, may investigation ba ito? May result ba ng investigation? Kasi we would like to know kung ito ba ay EJK related. Hindi natin alam kung ano ba nangyari dito. Buhay na hindi bumalik at namatay. Hindi natin alam kung ano ba. Meron bang investigation ito in the first place? We'd like to know from the PNP kung meron ba ito.
So we will have to, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we will have to check sir the case and we will approach Mrs. Colliante later. Sir, sir. Sir, I will let General Sinayog answer, sir.
Okay, go ahead, China. China.
Your Honor, sir,
Sinayog. Go ahead.
thank you, sir. Sir, ang recommendation ng head of office niya is that the office recommends that all benefits due to Pier 1 Georgian unless largely disabled should be awarded to his legal beneficiaries. So, apparently, sir, hindi ito, this is in the line of duty, sir, yung pagkamatay.
Okay. Kaya kailangan talaga natin categorize eh. Hindi. Okay. We need to categorize talaga. Check nyo muna, no? Para, And then afterwards, siguro sa Monday, if we will be continuing our investigation on this, we'll be citing all those names, no? Na in line of duty. Para at least matulungan natin. Okay. I'll be showing lang. Sige, Chairman.
Short question lang, Mr. Chair, sa PNP, para lang for our education. Kasi, inimbestiga natin yung extrajudicial killings o EJK na kadikit dun sa pag-implement ng war on drugs. No? Marami pong nangyari na namatay. No? 6,000 sa datos ng PNP ang namatay. No? Sabi nga, ito daw po ay mga nanlaban. So we'd like to get... maybe in the next hearing, Mr. Chair, no, yung records nung kung 6,000 yung nanlaban, 6,000 yung namatay, maaaring ganun din karami yung armas na ginamit panlaban. No, and I'm sure nasa depository o nasa evidence room ng PNP yan. Pangalawa, pinag-usapan din natin yung reward system. Apparently, the war on drugs ay nagkaroon ng reward system na kung saan ay merong pumatay at merong kumita. No? Pangatlo, which I think needs more substantial information, meron bang quota system? Yung sinasabi. Kunyari, isang istasyon, ang quota mo, 500 drug pusher ngayong buwan na ito. Kasi yun ang information na karating sa amin. No? So, I don't know if the PNP will be able to answer us with that. No? If I am certain na wala naman dokumento nagsasabing may quota. Pero kayo, sa inyong karanasan, sa inyong nalalaman, meron bang in-implement na quota ang bawat mga opisyal o bawat istasyon sa pag-implement nitong war on drugs? Is there anyone from PNP who can answer that?
Okay, from General.
Sir, personally, sir, I was provincial director during from 2016 to 2018 at wala naman silang sinabing quota na ibibigay sa akin, sir. I was the provincial director then of Ifugao Police Provincial Officer.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
With due respect to Police General that answered the query of Chairman Barbers, and of course of the whole PNP, ano naman yan eh, sa totoo lang po, if you check all the records now of all those police officials, not all, but hindi rin most, some, para safe, some of those police officers that was dismissed are drug-related in relation to quota. Well, in fact, I can mention one, no? I can mention one, and I will mention a lot of police officers, maybe in my time, before we suspend. For example, I talked to former Chairman Nograles, now running for mayor in, unfortunately, he decided to run in Davao, anong budget plenary debate, doon kami nag-usap, may isang case doon po sa on appeal sa CEC. Kaya ang desisyon ng CEC is favorable to that police official that was dismissed by Napolcom because the basis is Dakota. Isa ka na, now, of course, that is not, kumbaga, unwritten policy. No? And that is being used, yun ang pinakamasakit sa lahat eh. Some of the police officials are being dismissed by Napolcom because of such basis. So, kaya, of course, that's an unwritten policy. Alam po natin yun. But sa totoo lang po, whether we will admit it or not, may mga kaso talaga na may mga police officers na pinadismiss dahil dyan sa kota-kota. And they will testify, Mr. Chairman, if we will invite them and we will allow them to speak and we will check the Napolcom, we will check the civil service. Kasi po, ang tanong kanina ni Attorney Congressman Atcharon, with regards to legal remedies by police officials being dismissed by Napolcom, mayroon pa po. Pwede pa po sa civil service. And in fact, kaya nga mamaya I will move for the civil service also, Mr. Chairman, to be invited in the next hearing and submit to us all cases that was filed. Appeal of all those police officials that was dismissed in the period of 2016 to 2022, the present status, because some of them was already unfavorably decided by CAC to be dismissed. But there is a case now, and it might be confirmed or official, but I want it to be confirmed by the CAC and of course by the police officials in the next hearing. A certain police superintendent Gumbok.
Ano?
Gumbok. Siya po yung, nung pinatawag ang lahat ng police ni General Bato, siya po yung nirant ni PNP Chief Bato the time. Yung pangising-isi, yung sinabi niya, ikaw Gumbok, pangising-isi ka pa dyan. Yun yung Gumbok. Now, I cannot confirm it, but I have information that Gumbok, the appeal of Gumbok was favorably decided for him by the Civil Service Commission or Richard Gumbok on the grounds of, I think, if my memory serves me right, you might correct me or not, if I'm wrong, that was a statement given to me by former Chairman Nograles. When I asked about the cases, pending cases, babalikan ko po mamaya yan kasi ito, pattern to eh. Mr. Chairman, pattern to na nangyari. Now, you're citing about the case of Gumbok, and I think now, the document or the papers of Superintendent Gumbok is now with, I think, with the PNP or with Napolcom after the decision favorably of the CSC. I do not know, but that is the information that I get.
Okay. Chairman, okay, go ahead.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Can you kindly give us all those personalities that
Ganito po, Mr. Chairman, ganito lang.
before I recognize
Before Mr. Chairman, I present to this committee and to the police officials. I have with me a memorandum from the office of the Vice Chairman and Executive Officer. That time is Attorney Roy Riorti Casurao. He was then the Vice Chairperson of the Napolcom when President Duterte assumed as President. Now, dated August 18, 2016. This is addressed po to all regional directors. And this order from the Napolcom addressed to all regional directors emanates from the public statement of the former President dated August 7. Dito po sinabi ni President Duterte, lahat po ng listahan ng mga police officials involved in the drug list. Well, in fact po, for the record, hindi pa nga po kompleto yung mga names. Hindi ko rin ma-confirm, but some of the information that I got is handwritten pa po. O for example, in the case, ito ngayon, in the case of police superintendent o senior superintendent at the time, the Regional Intelligence Unit Chief ng Region 6, Police Senior Superintendent Hipana, the underclass of, the classmate of, General Pardo. Di ba, ma'am? Kaklase mo siya? Yes. Okay, now, ang nakalagay dito sa record is, mali pa po. Hinipa. Walang first name. Ang nilagay lang dito, Police Superintendent Hinipa. Well, in fact, in short, that's only the sample. Some of them dito, hindi po tama yung
Wrong spelling.
wrong spelling. At the same time, yung rank, pati assignment.
Dismiss siya?
Yan ang dismiss. Now,
Oh my God.
why I'm telling this, no? Supposedly, and I hope the NAPOLCOM, now with the new leadership of Attorney Vice Chair Bernabe, I hope you check on this, no? Because I have information. While this memorandum is addressed to all regional directors of NAPOLCOM, the only region that conducts investigation during the time is only the regional office of Region 6. Why? Because most of the officers subject for investigation that time and was dismissed was assigned in Region 6. And look at the dates. Hindi na ito coincidental. Because the first statement of the former president is August 7 and the memorandum was issued August 18. When was President Duterte sit or assume office? That was July 1. A matter of 1 month. Now why? And most in the list are police officials, decorated police officers. And eto, why Region 6 lang? But the memorandum is for all regions. Why? Because eto,
Political vendetta.
tama po. This is a political vendetta. Why? Because during that election, and we know for the fact, this is public knowledge, every election, Region 6 is a yellow country. Ako nga, sa totoo lang po, in this administration, saludo nga ako ngayon eh. Of course, baka pwede nyo sabihin na I am a campaigner of BBM. Pero tingnan mo, during the 2016 presidential election, alam nyo, ilan ang lamang ni BP Lene against now President Bongbong Marcos? More than 500,000 only in Negros Occidental. Because Region 6 is a yellow country. I am not campaigning for Mar that time. But most of my kababayan is campaigning for Mar. I am with Grace po. Natalo sa Grace po. Okay lang.
Yeah.
Oh. Pero ang sinasabi ko lang is, why? This memorandum is for all the regional directors of NAPOLCOM. And only in Region 6 now. Mali-mali na po yung tinawag na pangalan at saka official, pati assignment. Eto, kilala, kinonfirm ni General Pardo po na classmate niya si Police Senior Superintendent Hipana, ngayon dismiss o napili sa CEC, o pero ang napalagay dito, Hinipa. Wala pang first name. Now, class 96. Now, ito po, Mr. Chairman, ito po yung sinasabi ko po. For example, a certain Police Senior Superintendent Ricardo De La Paz, my kababayan, I do not know the real record of De La Paz. Pero I know, retired na. Diba? Retired na ngayon. Si De La Paz, class 84 ata siya, PNPA. No? Classmate of DJ Lasso. Ito, pinapiyaw to. Alam mo, kausap ko yung mga kamag-anak. Gusto siya palabasin doon, pauwiin. sa krami. Hindi po to umuwi. Dahil takot na baka ang tawag nila dun, akay daw, akay during the time. Akayan ka. Paglabas mo, doon ka nayayarayin. Just like what happened with all those in the drug list of the former president, nirelieve, pinadala ko sa malalayo, saan, doon namatay. And sinabi ko nga kanina, an example of that is, ito sa region ko lang, the province ko. How about in other provinces? The case of Rapis. I am not saying that Rapis is a clean policeman, police officer. But though he deserved to be relieved and be assigned in other places, tapos doon na i-assassinate. Diba? The same is true with all those cases of riding in tandem in which the victims are police officers. Kaya nga po, Mr. Chairman, before I forgot, I would like to move that the police officers to General Pardo and of course General Torre to submit in this committee all cases of killings or death under investigation. Kasi karamihan dito, wala naman talagang resulta. Those police officials that was relieved in their post and assigned in other places at doon po namatay. They were killed. Now, second is all cases involving PNP officials that was killed by riding in tandem. Napakarami po dito sa Metro Manila. Well, in fact, a case in which gusto ko rin po buksan yan, maybe in the Quadcom, yung nangyari po dun sa Bulacan. Yung involved doon yung isang station, Marilao ata, Marilao, Bulacan. Kasi almost all those officials, police officers from NCRPO, yung iba ngayon nagtatago kasi siguro, yung iba doon namatay. Pinatay din po. And I hope General Torre is familiar with this. Yung kaso doon sa bypass na involved yung NCRPO. Anyway, I will just ask the chairman and give him all the records, no? Para po may sama natin sa investigation. Because this will only prove na talaga pong may problema yung previous war on drugs. Now, Mr. Chairman, I will not anymore belabor to name those police officials. I will just submit this to the chair, no? Yung 95 ata naka-record dito. But just for purposes of record, sa kamalaman ng public, I have with me the 19 police officers that was dismissed. And until now, ang pamilya po nila is suffering. Sila po is suffering. Their moral, lahat po, tinamaan po sila. Well, in fact, sinabi ko kanina, may isang official, certain, eto, kilala ko dahil tagamin, yung Ipil Dunyas po, underclass ni General Pardo, underclass ni General Torre. But well, in fact, ako, I am very sure of his record. Na mas nauna pa siyang naging kapitan from lieutenant to captain kay General Torre. It is a class, upper class niya, masyado. Siya rin po, mas nauna pa na maging major. Pero, he is at the wrong place or wrong assignment at the wrong time. Kasi po, nasa schooling siya noon, taga Iloilo, naging deputy chief of police ng Iloilo, that time, nabutan siya ng bagong presidente, Marwas country, ang mayor noon Mabilog, which is also accused by former president, na drug protector, kawawa po yung police. Until now, under appeal. Nasusi po. Kaya Mr. Chairman, baka makalimutan ko rin, we might as well invite the representative from the Civil Service Commission to be present on the next hearing. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion to invite the Civil Service